Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of my brand new series, Battle Spot Trouble. Of course, if you haven't been keeping up with the series, it's basically a small mini-series that I'm doing to kind of hype up Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and more importantly, VGC 2018. So I'm playing some Battle Spot doubles with a bunch of different teams just to get some experience with some of the older Pokemon that I haven't used in a while, and kind of get acclimated to a format that's going to be very similar to what VGC 18 will probably eventually look like. So for the last couple of episodes, I've been using this really fun team with Zapdos, Mega Gardevoir, and Incineroar. Today I'll be switching to a brand new team. This was created by two Spanish players. I'll link their Twitters below, and they were kind enough to share the QR code and the pastebin for this online. So I've been using rental teams just because I haven't had too much time to actually team build for this format, and I want to just try out some established archetypes. Just because, you know, I'm not going to be playing this format for too long, so I might as well just get some experience with it while I can. So I'm using this team because if you guys remember watching me in 2015, for any of you guys that were around back then, Sand was my favorite, or one of my favorite teams back then. So I used Sand a lot, you know, back during like around April, May, June. Brought it to the U.S. National Championships that year. I did pretty well at Nationals. Yeah, so like the best finish I had was like 9th at Regionals and then 4th at Nationals with it. And it was a really strong archetype, so this is kind of like a modified version with the new Ultra Sun, or new Sun and Moon stuff. So you see the team, Salamence, Tyranitar, it's Mega Salamence, of course, Excadrill, Volcarona, the Rotom Wash, and the Tapu Bulu. So a lot of cool stuff just in general. My opponent now actually has weather on their end with the Pelipper, Ludicolo, Mega Swampert, Arcanine, Crobat, and the Goodra. So very interesting team all in all. Weather control is going to be really important in this game, as well as I think Bulu is really good against the Swampert, but kind of sucks against everything else. Probably want Rotom Wash. Maybe I actually want to lead Rotom Wash. I can't believe I'm using Rotom Wash again. Oh my goodness. It's been a while, my friend. I don't like Volcarona here at all, but I should double check the moveset just because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, it doesn't have Giga Drain, so there's not much reason to use it. It does get Redirection, which is kind of cute. I like Rotom, Salamence, T-Tar, and Bulu, I think. Let's see. Excadrill's Life Orb. I mean, Excadrill's not bad either. Drillra and Ironhead Rock Slide does give me incredible coverage overall, especially against like the Crobat, Goodra, Arcanine, and Pelipper core. But I suppose I already have answers against those with T-Tar. Anyway, and Salamence. Okay, I like this. So, I haven't played any games with this team at all, so I'm kind of just going off intuition. Part of the reason why I'm doing this series, just learning as much, and, you know, expect to take more losses just because I'm more unfamiliar with it, but it's all a learning process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, if you do, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. Go check out the creators of the team as well as the QR code linked all in the description below. And if you haven't seen, I did some fun collaborations with Joey, Pokemon MD, so if you haven't seen those, they're linked in the description below as well. We play some VGC on his channel, and then he teaches me singles Ubers, which was quite fun, so definitely some exciting stuff. Anyway, my opponent goes with Crobat and Ludicolo against my Mence and my Rotom. So, I mean, you'd assume, like, Ludicolo Ice Beams or Giga Drains here. It could Fake Out as well. It really has a plethora of attacks. So, like, I could Double Edge into the Ludicolo to cover for that option. Although, I hate how the new speed mechanic works. Because you could switch Crobat into Politoed, and I believe the Ludicolo would immediately be faster. Which kind of sucks. I can't really just afford losing Salamence turn 1. I could Electro Web. That'd be kind of cute. I actually like Electro Webbing here. I'm going to Electro Web and protect turn 1. I'm not too worried about Crobat offensively, and I really can't afford Crobat switching into Politoed. At least, I'm pretty sure that's how speed mechanics work. I was watching one of Baz's videos, and I got caught off guard because I was like, wait, why is the Mega Pert faster immediately? But if someone could clarify that in the comments below, that'd be nice as well, just to get clarification. Ludicolo does Fake Out. Okay, into Mence, nice. And Crobat just Tailwinds. I'll take that turn. I get free damage off. And, I mean, the downside is Politoed doesn't switch in. But Electro Web should still do, yeah, it almost two-shots Crobat. Doesn't quite. The Tailwind is unfortunate, but there's not much I could have done to prevent it. And I don't actually want my opponent to get a free switch in there, so that works out okay. It's just now that I have Bulu, and I don't really want to switch in Bulu into an Ice Beam, I might have to switch in Tyranitar, but foregoing weather control seems really bad. Maybe I switch out into... Maybe I do... I don't know. This is tough. This is really tough. If I had to guess, it's Pelipper and Swampert in the back. Oh, it's not Politoed, it's Pelipper, which is also advantageous. I think I will try to knock out Crobat this turn, so I'll Thunderbolt, and I probably will switch Mence out, and I think I'll just go into Bulu. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but I won't faint, and basically... Okay, Crobat switches... Oh, it's probably perk coming in. Yeah. Okay. Okay. My opponent could totally choose the Giga Drain here as well, which is scary. Yeah, this is really terrifying, because my opponent doesn't even have Rain Up, but the Tailwind allows him to sweep. He actually does go for the Energy Ball. Wow. That's all I have to... That's my reaction. Okay. Okay. So I bring Mence back in. Oh, that was not good. I needed Rotom, and I really thought the Ice Beam was coming out there. Nice play on my opponent's end. Kind of risky, but works out very, very well. I have Z-move right now. I'm inclined... Like, protecting Mence is so obvious here, but I think... Do I go for a risky play? Like, I don't even think an Ice Beam / Ice Punch would knock out Bulu. So I think I just go for the safe protect. And go for the Z move onto Ludicolo to knock that out. Because if I can knock out Ludicolo, then... Okay, Swampert switches out. Yeah, nice. Okay, that's fine. That's actually... I should have not Mega Evolved. Oh, I did Mega Evolve. Okay, good. My VGC 15 intuition is still somewhat around. Ice Beam. Yeah, nice. So that's good. Knocking out the Ludicolo is such a big deal. But I'm still not exactly in the best of positions. Like, this game is going really quickly, but... it's scary. And I don't know what Crobat set this is, and that's the main concern, because if it has a poison type attack, it can just one-shot Bulu. Tailwind is like, at least like expiring, which is good for me. I was gonna say good for my end, and I said like, but then, okay, so I knock out Ludicolo, which is good. If it's like, I'm not worried about Pelipper offensively, that doesn't do too much, and like, if Pelipper switches in here, that'd actually be great. I feel like you definitely don't. You definitely switch in Pert. I just don't know if Pert Ice Punch even knocks me out on Mence. I'm not entirely sure about that, to be honest. Yeah, Pert comes back in. Tailwind, this is the last turn of Tailwind, I think. I really want to Mega Evolve and just Tailwind on my end. Whoa, definitely don't want to do that. Yeah, I think what I want to do is Mega Evolve, Tailwind, and protect Bulu. Now, the downside is if my opponent makes the read and doubles up into Mence, which very likely could happen. I think I might survive an Ice Punch from Swampert, but I surely won't survive like a Super Fang or Brave Bird plus Ice Punch onto the Mence slot. So, this is kind of risky. It feels like a 50-50, but it's not entirely like that because I don't really know my opponent's sets. And I also could have just switched out. Pert does Mega Evolve. Okay. That is kind of to be expected. And the reason why is, like, because I'm assuming Pelipper is my opponent's last one, if I just knocked out Swampert here, Tyranitar wins against Crobat and Pelipper. But this is... I think if I get the Tailwind off here, I win the game. And if I don't, I think I lose the game. Unless Crobat doesn't have a Poison type attack, but you would think surely it does. So the Moment of Truth, no protects on my opponent's end. My Bulu is going to protect. Brave Bird. Okay, that's a good start. And just Rock Sliding. Okay, please, please. I suffered enough. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So the fact that it has Brave Bird too, it means it doesn't even have Poison Jab. So I get Tailwind up at a perfect opportune time. Don't know which side the Salamence leans towards. Yeah, it has more attack, so I'm just gonna double edge Crobat. And Horn Leech Swampert. Yeah. Well, that's so fortunate Rock Slide missed. I mean, even if it hit, like, it doesn't do much damage against the Salamence. It's just I need to not get flinched. And we all saw how Rock Slide can be good against me a few episodes back. So, glad I avoid getting flinched. And setting up Tailwind was the perfect time here. So, yeah. I think it's important to note, like, one reason why this format doesn't necessarily mirror VGC 2018 is because we don't know what tutor moves are going to be allowed in 18. So, like, Salamence getting up Tailwind, or Salamence being able to have access to Tailwind, like, that totally might not happen in with the upcoming games. So it kind of comes down to what tutor moves there are. Swampert protects, which is fine by me. I mean, Mence should outspeed. I would think Double Edge just knocks out the Crobat as well. Hopefully it does. I kind of need it to. Nice. Yeah, I was going to say, like, I mean, Crobats are kind of bulky. Like, you want to invest some bulk in them, but there shouldn't, like, Mega Salamence is really strong. Although, I guess I should remember that, you know, like, the 8 abilities, like Aerial 8 and Pixel 8, have been nerfed from 2015, which was the last one I played with them, really. So yeah, I should get used to that. So Pelipper comes back in. The speed boost is activated now, but Pelipper is still slower, so I should be able... I think my opponent Nate is playing the flinch game at this point. Actually, I can just switch into Tyranitar. Yeah, I don't see a reason not to do that. Switch into T-Tar. So, Bulu, I think... And it comes down to how fast the Pert is, but... because of the speed mechanics, yeah. I'm pretty sure this works. Although I think Bulu might still be slower than Mega Swampert naturally. So maybe this was unnecessary. Maybe what I should have done was protect Salamence and switch T-Tar in. But now my opponent doesn't get Rain Up, and if I knock out Swampert, I win the game. So I think my opponent needs to go for a flinch or a freeze, and nope, I am faster. It's really weird that they changed the speed mechanics like that. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan. To be honest, I guess I'm just so used to the way it used to be. So not like, yeah, majorly, not a major fan of that. But it just makes it so you have to play the game a little bit differently. Hurricane actually gets the one-shot on Bulu. Okay, so yeah, this game came down to me getting up the Tailwind, basically, because once I got the Tailwind up, I was in a pretty confident position that I'd be able to win the game. And then the other big, like, not mistake, but it was like when my opponent switched in the... Or when the Ludicolo just went for the Ice Beam and Immense, and I got the free Z move onto the Ludicolo, that was a big deal as well. And that made sense, right? Because, like, you're like, oh, I don't want my Swampert to get eaten up alive right now, but it was tough. So, yep, just gonna double edge, Rock Slide. I should have crunched, actually, but it doesn't really matter at this point. And that closes out the game. The double edge animation is really cool, too, and even, it still does so much damage there. And Rock Slide here does connect. Crunch would have obviously been safer, but there is 0% chance my opponent could win after... yeah, like, in this position anyway. Like, even a Rock Slide miss, 2 turns of Sand knocks the Pelipper out anyway. So, good game to my opponent. I'm pretty excited for, you know, my first game that we actually get matched up against a weather team. So, that's kind of fun. Had a fun time here, definitely. And that was a really scary matchup still. Like, you know, Swampert and Ludicolo are just really offensive Pokemon. So, under Rain, under Tailwind. Like, if my opponent... I was really worried about my opponent getting the combination of Tailwind and Rain Up at the same time, because then I would just be guaranteed slower. And Bulu was really the MVP there, being able to knock out the Swampert and the Ludicolo. And it just gave me such a leg up in this matchup. So, we do get a win there, which is quite nice, and we're just going to look for our next opponent for today. Otherwise, looking at that, I'm, like, relatively content about how I played, other than letting Ludicolo knock out my Rotom, like, for so free. But, you know, honestly, Rotom was in a position where it's, like, I can't really conserve it, because if I switch out, my opponent can capitalize off it. And if I stay in, you know, I kind of just get knocked out. It's kind of dead weight, so it's actually maybe a good thing that I got knocked out so early on, because then I at least got a free switch in. But, yeah, this Rotom a little bit different. You know, it doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, and it has the Wiki Berry instead of the Citrus Berry, so... Back in 2013 and 2014, I mean, all the years I've used Rotom, basically, most comments at Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, Will-O-Wisp, Protect with the Citrus Berry. Occasionally, you'll see Specs or Scarf on it, but now you have the 50% berry, so this one opts to run one of those. So, our next opponent of the day, running kind of basically all these Pokemon are allowed in VGC 17, so maybe my opponent just meant to play VGC 17 but jumped on the doubles ladder. But there is a Garchomp, a Makalele, a Celesteela, a Toxapex, and a Alakazam. Alakazam is pretty scary, to be honest. I kind of like just setting up Tailwind. Or not even setting up Tailwind, sorry, Excadrill Tyranitar. Yeah. Salamence in the back, definitely for Tailwind support. Bulu's pretty terrible. It's not terrible, actually, but I don't think I like it as much as Rotom or Volcarona, given that my opponent has a Celesteela. Yeah, the Celesteela is scary. I actually don't know who I want between Volk and Rotom. I think I'm going to bring Volk just for the sake, because I haven't brought it yet, and I want to feature all the Pokemon in today's episode. So we'll go for this. I feel confident enough with the Tyranitar Excadrill Salamence core, where I think the fourth one isn't that important. Whatever. Basically, like, the role of the fourth one is to beat the Celesteela. And both Volcarona and Rotom do a decent job with that. So, we're going to get into this next game. Let's see how this plays out. My opponent's team, you know, pretty much all VGC 17 mons, but Alakazam could be Mega Alakazam now. Chomp could be Mega Chomp. But we see Mucklele from my opponent's end, which is definitely advantageous for me. Like, Excadrill just kind of sweeps through everything right now. There's actually nothing stopping me from just Iron Heading the Tapu Bulu. Yeah, I'm just gonna Iron Head. And do I want to switch out? I wish I had Dragon Dance right now. That'd be fun. I do have the Z move, but it's Rock Z move. Or sorry, Dark Z move. Yeah, let's switch it to Immense. That's not Immense. Yeah, the reason why I want to switch it to Immense is just because I get the Intimidate off against Muk, so Knockoff doesn't do as much damage. I'm probably going to lose my Life Orb here, but that's fine. And then more importantly, I just pressure with Tailwind, whereas Tyranitar's really not doing as much in the slot that it just was in. You could also just cycle Salamence back out for more Intimidates. No Protects coming out either. Okay. And Ironhead just gets the clean knockout. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. My opponent doesn't really have much against Sand to begin with, and that lead matchup worked out so well for me. Knockoff comes out. It does target down Excadrill. That still does a ton of damage. Alternatively, I could have just gone for the drill run onto Muk. But Muk is not really the issue right now. It's lefties Muk too. So, yeah, I'm guessing this isn't the most competitive team. Probably just something my opponent threw together from Pokemon from the Alolan decks. Not that you should underestimate your opponents. I'm not trying to talk my opponent down, but I don't know. Like, lefties Muk is just not really optimal competitively. Like, you pretty much want to run one of the 50% berries all the time. There are very, like, specific cases where maybe it doesn't make too much sense, but I don't know. It just is way too good to pass up on. So Celesteela comes back in, and Celesteela is kind of annoying for my team to deal with, but yeah, I'm just gonna protect Excadrill this turn. Actually, I mean, even if a Flamethrower probably doesn't knock me out. Yeah, I don't think it will. So I'm just gonna Drill Run, Muk, and Hyper Voice. I mean, actually, I'll switch Mence out to get an Intimidate off against Celesteela. I'll switch into Volk. Yeah, that's pretty safe. Reason being, I just want to reduce the heavy slam damage. Although I guess it doesn't even really matter, but Mence isn't doing anything in this position anyway, because Drill Run's going to knock out Muk anyway. Muk does protect, though. Okay. So good play there, definitely. I could have protected with Excadrill, but I figured I'll just go for it. I'm not sure even a Flamethrower will knock me out. Let's see. Actually, my opponent just Leech Seeds, so it's even better for me. And now Volcarona's in a prime position. So, yeah. This Volcarona is kind of cool. It's like the 50% barrier with Rage Powder. So you get to redirect attacks away, which is kind of cute. That actually is really helpful, given that I've got Tyranitar in the back, because then I can just redirect everything away from... Or not even Tyranitar. I can redirect attacks away from Excadrill right now, which I think is exactly what I'm going to go for. It's not the Quiver Dance set. If I had Quiver Dance, I'd actually be probably better in this position, but that's fine. So I am just going to Drill Run and Rage Powder, and just make sure that Excadrill hangs around for at least like 2 or 3 more turns. My opponent doesn't really have any safe switches to Drill Run either, so yeah, I feel like Celesteela protects too, which is perfect for me. So as long as I don't miss the Drill Run, which I believe doesn't have 100% accuracy, but I don't remember. I'm fairly sure it does. It does not. I want to double check that. Drill Run comes out, but it does fortunately target down the Muk. That should cleanly get the knockout still. Oh, it actually doesn't. Wow. And Muk is Rock Slide. That's actually pretty unfortunate. It wouldn't. I don't think it knocks out Volcarona, but it surely would have done a lot. Yeah. Wow. I was Rock Slide Muk. That's crazy. I'm not. Like, that actually could have, like, I'm actually kind of angry at myself, I guess, for not predicting that. Just because, like, I don't think it knocks me out, but it does a ton of damage, and, like, it would make the game a lot harder, just because Volcarona is my main win con against Celesteela. So I guess I should have brought Rotom in preparation for Muk. I'm going to switch Volk out into Salamence here, and just Ironhead for the chip damage on a Garchomp. Get the Intimidates, basically. If I knock out Garchomp, I win the game with Volcarona. So I'm actually kind of angry about this one, because, you know, yeah. And that's why it's important to never underestimate your opponent. Like, I was like, oh yeah, lefties Muk, it doesn't make much sense. But then, like, because I had Rock Slide, I actually could have totally lost here. I don't think I got bailed out by the miss, but it was definitely fortunate. But yeah, I mean, a typical Muk set, like, it's not going to be able to do anything in that position. So because my opponent was running like a more unconventional set, it could have hurt me. As Garchomp just opposite Rock Slide, but yeah, Salamence still can take that decently well. This actually isn't over. Like, I do need to not get flinched by Rock Slide, I think. Although, I don't know how fast my opponent's Chomp is. That's the other question. Seela does get the seeds up. Yeah, this is where actually having Rotom Wash would have been nice. So, yeah, this game isn't wrapped up yet. Not just quite yet. But, Salamence should be able to take an attack. I'm just going to bring in Tyranitar. Actually, what I can do is just Z-move Garchomp and Tailwind. So my opponent can only knock out 1 of 2 Pokemon. The only downside of it is I get Rock Slide flinched with both Pokemon. And if my opponent, like, Tech Rages, then I can just... Ooh, it'll be close. Maybe I'll just double in a Garchomp. I like Tailwinding more. No, yeah. just for Volcarona insurance in the end. So, yeah, my opponent actually fought back pretty darn well. And that's just because Garchomp Celesteela is a very strong combination, which is why we see it a lot in 2014, or sorry, 2017. Yeah, Garchomp just Rock Slides. I didn't click the Mega Evolution button. That's fine, I just need to not get flinched with one of the two. You're kidding me right now, right? You are kidding me. It's still not over? It comes down to what Garchomp that is. If it's Scarf Chomp, then T-Tar should still just Z-move, knock out Garchomp. You've got to be kidding me. I think even with the Mega Evolve, I don't know, it would have been close. But in terms of surviving. Yep, I think I'm relatively sure that's Scarf Chomp at this point. So I just need to not get flinched with Tyranitar, Z-move, knock out Chomp, win the game. This is crazy. Rock Slide is ridiculous. Yep, he clicked Rock Slide. Tyranitar avoids it. Oh, thank goodness. Gosh, I really hate Scarf Rock Slide, man. I don't know. I was talking to Ray earlier today, Ray Rizzo, and we were just like, man, like, Rock Slide's such a good move just for damage, and I always, like, said, like, man, it totally should be, like you can use it without, like, just no flinch chance at all. Like, that's how I think it should be. Just a strong attack. Ideally, like, one that can't miss. And fortunately, yeah, the Z-move does not get Garchomp. But, jeez, this game ended up being a lot closer than it really should have been. Celesteela actually has Giga Drain as well. Man, that is crazy. So, like, even with the Rock Slide connecting on Volcarona, like, we'd be in the same position, because Volcarona would be able to, it'd be a lot lower health. But I think a Fiery Dance plus Crunch might just knock it out anyway. Let's see. Even if not, now my opponent surely can't win, but this ended up being way closer than I wanted it to be. And ultimately that was just because, I mean, the number one reason was because of flinches, obviously. I was in a position where it's like, oh, if I don't get flinched, I'll be fine, but I got flinched with both. And I knew that turn, if I don't get flinched with either one, I had the game won 100%, but then I figured, okay, given that it's outspeeding Mence, it's probably Scarf Chomp. So my opponent actually does get the knockout onto T-Tar here. It might have been a little bit more optimal to protect Tyranitar just so Celesteela doesn't get a boost immediately, but even at +1, I think Fiery Dance should knock it out. Least boost is special defense, but I'm not seeded with Volcarona, so my opponent can't really do much. So I did get double flinched once again, so that was scary, and I did Mega Evolve. I need to remember to click the Mega Evolution button. It's actually like harder, like it's not as distinct as it used to be back in 5th or 6th gen, which is kind of annoying. But, oh well. But otherwise, like, mistakes that I made this game, I don't know, like, I'm pretty content with how I played overall. Maybe trying to set up Tailwind earlier with Mence could have been better, instead of bringing in Volcarona that turn. It's like the only one real misplay. I guess Rage Powdering was kind of unnecessary too, but, you know, your typical Celesteela is going to have Flamethrower, and you Flamethrower against the, or not typical, but like most Celesteals will carry this. So you'd Flamethrower the Excadrill, so I wanted to redirect that, because Excadrill does pretty well against my opponent's entire team. The end game that I was setting up for was basically exactly that, you know, you like get some chip damage onto like Garchomp where a double edge or a Z move will knock it out, and then all I need to do is just get one attack off. And if that were Z Garchomp, that could have been really scary, because Z Chomp could have just knocked out T-Tar in one hit. But fortunately, the Rock Slide did not connect, which meant I didn't have to deal with the flinch chances. Managed to get the knockout, and we do get the win. But that was definitely scary. I think, like, my opponent, you know, the Garchomp, the Celesteela, those were all relatively standard sets. It looked like Scarf Chomp Celesteela had Giga Drain, which you don't see as often, but still scary with Leech Seed. Just a lot of recovery. So, like, even though, yeah, the lefties on Muck, you know, not typically, like, the best item, it still ended up, in fact, it was actually even scarier because it had Rock Slide. I kind of wish the Rock Slide hit just because I would have been caught off guard by that. I wanted to see how I would have reacted to it, but that was, like, well played for my, very well played on my opponent's end, given the situation. But that's always why it's, like, Rock Slide exists, and it's a good move. So, like, yeah, you know, losing the Lele was really rough on my opponent's, just on, like, that turn 1, but still was able to really salvage it and be in a position where, like, my opponent could have potentially won, had Rock Slide flinch there. So that's always really scary, but that's why Scarf Rock Slide or Fast Rock Slide in general is always just really good. And I think, you know, well, credit to my opponent to be in a position where, you know, that was definitely a winnable game. So, scary episode, but we do end up with 2 wins for our first time with this team, which is pretty nice. Some fun games, and I definitely learned a lot, and really well played to my opponents as well. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.